Hi all, welcome to another chess24 Banter Blitz. So it's 11:30. I had some sort of stream status warning here. I'm hoping the bandwidth is okay. Let me know if is the board and audio okay. This is, by the way, the discount code screen I'd like to show you. Kingscrusher gives you a 15% discount if you want to become a premium member. You could challenge me and other streamers. Just turn up like 20 minutes before usually a stream, and you can send your challenges off and they're put into a queue. So becoming a premium member is a good way of playing any streamer and following all the tournaments around the world. So that's pretty cool. So let's see. We'll take some challenges now from the top. Phenomen, hi there, morning. So will I be inspired at all by the candidates tournaments games? I've been checking those out, and they're quite. It went off with a bang, didn't it? It's like 3 of the 4 games were decisive, so that's very good for chess fans. I prefer decisive games myself. Okay. So this looks pretty standard stuff so far. I'll play b6 here. Yeah, I'm thinking knight e5 would be okay. I think the double pawns here are no big deal. It gives me a lock on that d4 square. So if he took, yeah, I'm thinking this is a lock on the d4 square, bit of a trade-off scenario. So it looks as though, like, it's rule breaking in inverted commas, but in chess there are no really, unless this is a legal rule, the rules are not hard and fast for positional stuff. I mean, here it seems as though, yeah, my double pawns in the center are controlling key squares, basically. It looks as though white might be threatening something with taking a knight h5 there. I could play bishop c6, sneaking an attack on a4. If b3, b5. If bishop a6, bishop a4. I'm not sure that that actually leads anywhere. It might be more nifty to play like Kramnik in his win. This hypermodern queen going to a8. I think that's probably a reasonable idea. Is it? Maybe not. Oh, this is tactical now. Yeah, I've just made this piece loose. There is knight d5 as a sort of trying for a tactical solution. I'll try for a tactical solution here to unpin, to hit the bishop. It's not really what I'd anticipated. If ED, he goes into a pin here, bishop g5, that pawn's pinned to the queen. Yeah, that was a good move, really, I think, because if queen c7, then knight takes, bishop takes, white just wins a pawn in the game probably, and the rook's ready to lift e3, and that'll be the end of my king there. So this is a bit of a tactical, not something I'd anticipated, really. This. So yeah, I was just getting a bit carried away. This queen a8, maybe there's more important stuff here. I think this is quite solid actually. As long as, yeah, this pawn's pretty solid. Maybe it's a bit pointless. So sometimes you can be inspired to play inappropriately for your own position. I think there's a defense here if I took with bishop g5. So as long as I'm not getting mated, I think bishop g5. There's h4, there's knight f4. Or there's f6. Okay, ED here looks okay. or maybe just bishop d5. I'm holding that pawn, e5 pawn. There's knight f6. I'll probably take that queen. Okay. Maybe just king h8 for a moment. Just, it's getting a little bit scary. I want to be able to play rook g8 here to queen g3. I don't really want to give up the bishop anymore because he's taken a piece anyway. So let's see, something like f5. Oh, right, this is getting a little bit scary again. Maybe ED. I'm hoping ED is okay. Oh, it just gets perpetual. No, it's near perpetual. Bishop f6, queen f6. If it wasn't for the h6 pawn, this would be perpetual check. Okay, I have to take here. But as it is, it's there's rook d6. If I get rook d6, I think I avoid a perpetual check. Rook e5, I think I can just take. There's rook g5 forcing a perpetual check. Yeah, that would be forcing a perpetual check with rook g5. H queen check, queen f6. I could try rook d6 there to try and avoid perpetual check. So rook g5, take them, rook g6. Trying to avoid this perpetual check. There's a good try for a perpetual check with rook g5. Right, I think I can just take the bishop now. Just take the bishop. And get rook g6 in. Once I get rook g6 in, yeah, I'm on the attack then. The worst might be over now. Alright, I can maybe queen d6 over queen f6. It seems reasonable. If I can get the queens off, it's less to think about. As long as it's not for too many pawns. At the moment, pawn situation, it's 6 pawns versus 7. Okay, there's bishop f3. I think queen f3 is probably more to the point. I'm just checking for some forcing moves. I don't think there is too many. So queen f3. Alright, so rook g2 looks pretty strong. Okay, I find that sometimes I'm thinking about these master games and you end up playing inappropriately, like this queen a. It's just a symptom of looking at master games sometimes. I think that's not talked about that much. I have posted about that to Reddit once. It's the same with reading chess books. Sometimes you get this inspiration for ideas, but you have to sort of let them settle, and later they can pay dividends. But sometimes there's a process. You're experimenting with stuff inappropriately, and that was a clear case. The position demanded my king to be a bit safer, not to try and be fancy, hyper modern like Kramnik. So that's something to be aware of when you check out these games. But probably the worst is the iconic games, because some of them are quite sacrificial and very risky to play. You wouldn't if you want to avoid losing, you don't usually want to like sacrifice spectacularly everything to try for a brilliancy every time. So there's that as well. But yeah, that was a near disaster, that first game. Okay, so we've got a similar setup here with white not going for the open Sicilian, and I'll play similarly b6. And it's a similar idea actually, knight e5 here, but I'll try and be more careful this time on the king side. I don't want to have to rely on scary looking tactics later. So we've still got this clamped out on d4, so a similar pattern to the first game. Whilst, yeah, okay, there's other ways of playing the position, surely. I don't have to try and put the queen on a8 here necessarily. There's another thing that strikes me about this position is potentially that f4 square would be nice for a knight. Now at the moment I can't do that. G6, bishop g5, knight h5. Exchange off the bishops, the knight can land on f4. Maybe g6 is worth it. Maybe. To support knight h5 to f4. Now if he took my dark squares later, the dark square bishop would be having a good time, I think, without a counterpart. Bishop h6, I think I'm moving the rook. So I really want to get this knight h5 to f4. Unless I get tactically blasted in the meantime. Okay, so knight h5, I would welcome the exchange of dark square bishops here. Especially because my queen's not on a8 here. I can actually recapture now with queen takes e7. So I'm welcoming this because I'm thinking knight f4 is a juicy square. I'm going for the attack now with queen g5, maybe. It can serve an eviction notice with h4 later or immediately. f5 on the other hand takes, there's no take. I think I'll unpin the f7 pawn in advance to be able to play rook f8, f5. I know that's pinned, but I think this might be the way to go. Rook f8, f5. Not worried about g4. Not worried about any d4 at the moment. I'm just playing for this f5, f4. Now what I should be worried about is taking and take on e5. g5 for knight f4 seems a bit of a crazy idea. I could try and prepare something like that. If I have my rook on g8, let's go for an alternative plan then, instead of f5. I think f5, he's ready for f5. He can just take, because he's unpinned. He can then take on e5. So I'm going to change the plan a bit to put my rooks, both of them, over here. And then maybe g5, and consider stuff like knight f4 later, opening up that g file. Or even saner might be rook g6. Now the knight's kind of loose potentially. I got to be worried about queen f3 as well. Okay, f6 here for a moment, just to cover e5. If I doubled the rooks, g5, knight f4, this might be more to the point. So taking rook g2 later. Or even if I trebled, even better. If I could treble and then knight f4. So rook g8, g5, queen f7, queen g6, knight f4. Taking, there's always rook g1. What about g5, rook g6, rook h6? g5. This knight's loose. Alright, there's no use of f5 at the moment. So he's encouraging this with tempo. I'll take him up on that. Double for knight f4 being a real possibility, I think, now. Now queen f3. The thing is, like, my queen could get distracted here. There's always bishop e6 and queen h5. Okay, now I've been given the chance for rook h6 now on queen f3. I can play rook h6 as well. But also I can treble. I can set up an Alekhine's gun, actually, with rook g7. Alright, let's protect this knight for a moment. Or not. There's knight g7 as well. Where could this knight go? I could swing it to d6. Once I have a knight on d6, I can play rook g7, queen f8, g7, then play... Is the knight not useful for f4 anymore? I'm not sure it is. Well, let's centralize this knight. I think on d6, then treble. This looks more sensible. Because that might add weight to f5 there. Well, any f5, there's always exposure of e5. I think getting the knight to d6 looks like a reasonable idea. And then trebling. Also, maybe... Okay, the queen can also swing along here as well to h6. This is a slow brew attack. I just want to put the knight on d6 for a moment. Maybe he'll want to move the bishop. Now I can think about... No, hang on. Let's not do anything. There is c4 here as well. Okay. The knight on d4 would be nice. Let's try rook h6 for a moment. So queen f7, queen h5. Right. So king g1. Safe enough. That's a good point. I'm stuck for a plan. Okay, maybe I'll put the knight on d4 then, at the cost of a pawn. There's no c3. That knight's pretty impressive. a6 is falling off now. There's knight c2 here. Tactically, okay, knight c2. If takes, there's rook a8, so let's just go to d6 here. Hold e6. Alright, time, yeah. Okay, thanks, Kaz. Yeah, that was interesting as well. Okay, on hi. Onam is a very difficult opponent, actually. I think last week I struggled and only won on time in a totally drawn position. So, a very tricky opponent. I think he's only playing me on the site. Service rating. Okay, no, I'm just kidding. I don't know. No, just mucking around. Okay, I think I'm going to abort anyway. I don't think he's around. Okay. Okay. Okay, the mighty Shelling. And he gives me the black pieces so generously. It's not as if he had white last week. Oh wait, he did have white last week. And he's prepared the Botvinnik openings well against me because he sees me as some sort of towel. Yeah, so he's going to play the fianchetto against King's Indian. Well, you know what? I got to play some nonsense against him and try and bamboozle him now. I'll try this. Chet Benoni. I've seen there's an American GM that's played this with success. This Chet Benoni stuff. Ben Feingold. Let's see. The first I am overbeat, Colin Crouch played this against me. The Chet Benoni with a sort of b5 in the mix, b5 sort of plan. It's kind of logical to exchange off the light square bishop because my pawns are all on dark squares. So let's see, Queen d7 and b5. You see, I mean, in theory this is a fantastic idea. In practice, he's letting me play for b5, it seems, in this particular position. If I just play Queen d7, what's to stop me from playing b5? Also, I think I can lock down the dark squares with knight h7 here if needed. I'm not sure. Any sacrifice? I can play knight h7 in advance. So is he stopping me playing b5 with queen e2 or queen d3? No. Okay, I'll lock down the dark squares first. Is he stopping me with b5 now? No? Really? Okay. Maybe there's a tactical punishment of rook a7 or something. Yeah, it could be tactically up to something here with this nasty looking pin. There's also, I don't know about bishop h4 check. I don't think that's a major inconvenience for white's king here. Okay, that's interesting because there's b4 knight coming into d4 here. Is he not worried about that? Isn't it a bit of a monster knight now? I can pin that guy, get rid of that guy before it does damage on f5. Alright, nice knights to start off with. Oh, there's c4 and b3. I think I'm liking this. Okay, there's c4 as well. This is looking like a juicy position with c3. I don't know, I seem to have a free reign on the position here with c3. There's things like queen a7. There's a dangerous passed pawn. There's an active rook. There's an active queen. The king's not exactly safe. This seems quite easy to play. Oh well. I mean, rook c3. f3 would drop after. c3. Okay, let's say bishop e1. Bishop e1 could be scary. Okay. No, bishop e1 c1. There's a point to having the pawn on c2. Bishop e1 c1. Am I really going to let... Is he letting me play rook c3? I think he's asleep so far in this game. He's totally asleep with this game. I don't know. All I've done is the Colin Crouch plan. This IM that I played in Sutton many, many years back. We're talking in the 1990s. There was this tournament in the Sutton Library. I remember it kind of vividly. But he played this, yeah, it's kind of Chet Benoni with b5. It's not such a bad mix. I think there's something about the Chet Benoni, because you put so many pawns on dark squares, I think there's a simplification. Many people think you just exchange with bishop h3 and that's it, that's all you have to do. I think there's more to it than that, though, sometimes, because it does weaken white on the light squares as well, because b5 is a light square, so the bind on b5 was kind of reduced. So he's given me counterplay, serious counterplay here, I believe. This looks like quite a delicious position to start, at the moment. Alright, there is knight b3 just winning an exchange to start off with, or there's knight f3. I can take my pick. I think I like the idea of two connected passed pawns, so I'll go with that one. Now b3, queen d2, b2 is like queening, so I think I'll go with that. b2 looks absolutely end of game. Thanks. It was a good game while it lasted. Okay. No, it carries on. Okay, it carries on. Okay, I'll have another queen for the rook, or I could play rook f3 for queen g4. You can't ignore that, so that's another interesting pawn. No bishop g3 there. Okay, can't ignore that one. Queen g4. You put these ideas in the back of memory, even if the opponent lost, it's sometimes still a good idea what they played. Okay, so knight g5 coming up. I can take in a queen g4. Sorry, why is he playing on anyway? What is this? Sorry, did he have a late night party last night or something? What is this? Okay, thanks. sorry. No, I don't know. Yeah, but you still got a plus score against me. Yeah, so very dangerous. But I don't know. Maybe he overdid it on preparing the Botvinnik openings against me. Maybe overdid it. Okay. Yeah. I'm always excited to try and take a game off Schelling. My heart rate's gone up. Yeah, oh dear. I'm always excited when that happens. I don't know. Okay. I'm playing for this knight c5. Again, if he ever took there, that would be weakening the dark squares. If he doesn't take that, okay. I'm taking towards the centre. So there's a lockdown on the backward pawn. There's dark square play here. He's liberating my bishop. He's giving me the e5 square to play with. He or she. Sorry, when I say he, I mean he or she. I don't know how to say that. Rook b8, knight e5, knight e5, queen g5. I'm tied down to c7. Let's get rid of this. I'll just play on the dark squares instead. I want to I don't quite explain that. Okay, knight e5. I think that bishop d4 is a tactical target. If I ever played a check, I'm thinking if I ever play knight e5, there's knight e2, it's a tactical target sticking there. Well, that's tempting to play a check. As Fischer says, perhaps a Caesar check, perhaps a Caesar check. But I don't know, it's just a tactical liability. And I see it as a tactical liability to play the check because of knight e2. Why can't I just play knight e5 for a moment? I think I'm rampant on the dark squares here. There's bishop h6 as an example. I don't know where my queen can go in here. Maybe my queen should just tickle to provoke some weaknesses over here with queen h4. Yeah, I can tickle here, so to speak. I think I picked up the expression tickle from Richard Tozer. I thought that was interesting. He was saying about, because he meant really provoking weaknesses. So tickle is a sort of metaphor that you sort of tickle your opponent to do some pawn moves. It's a funny metaphor. I don't know, that sticks in the mind. Why is this knight hanging? Why can't I just take the knight? So queen g3 is now on the cards. Yeah, queen g3 looks pretty good. This takes... No, I've just had an hallucination. Takes a 93. The only problem with takes a 93 is 93 is not a legal move. Otherwise, this would be a really good tactic. Queen takes f1. Oh yeah, okay. But there's actually better than losing the queen is queen e3 here, which seems to win the bishop actually. So that's a slight improvement. There's also bishop f1 anyway. Even if the knight was able to go to e3 anyway. Okay, so you can see the wonderful analysis behind the scenes here for these games. Okay, thanks for the game. Thanks for the game. Okay, Azure missed. That reminds me, when I first qualified for the British Championship in Southend, there was this guy found my analysis quite amusing after. He says, how did I lose to this guy? Because I was coming out with weird and wonderful stuff. And he was saying, like, how did I lose to this guy? It's quite funny, the analysis. Anyway, yeah. I like to look at some weird and wacky stuff. He was like more positionally oriented. Okay. One of the beauties of over the board chess is compared to online is the post-mortem analysis you can do with opponents in analysis rooms of tournaments. It's something I think special about over the board chess compared to online, because online you usually just go to another game or whatever. So let's see, bishop g5 here is or knight g5. Knight g5 carries with it a subtle, crude perk of queen h5. Actually, it doesn't really do anything. Maybe it's a tickling move. It doesn't really do anything, you know. Maybe I'm just waiting for a weakness. He's pretty solid at the moment, I think. Is he? Or is he not? I think he might be. So I've tickled a weakness out of him. Does the knight want to go to h3? Like in the Kramnik game, when he went knight h3 to f4 to strengthen d5, but it's not exactly a positional style Kramnik position, so I'm not sure that's relevant at all for this game. Knight h3 to f4, like in the Kramnik candidates game. Queen h5 just seems to lose a piece. I could go knight h3. I could actually go knight h3 for queen h5. There might be a point here. It supports f4. Maybe queen h5, f4. Okay. There's some pressure here. Protect e4 a bit more. This diagonal. Queen h5, f4 is mostly pointless, I think. Right. if I took, let's take here for a moment. Bishop g6 looks like I'm fragmenting my opponent a bit. Then there is knight f4. It's bishop c4. No, he would just take rook f4. Maybe bishop d4 is better. I've got my bishops pointing in that direction. I think I can't see anything though. It's pretty solid at the moment. Tickling me now for f3. F3. I don't like to play f3. That bishop's solid, isn't it? Because any taking is always protecting e6. Otherwise, taking would be an idea. Now here, I don't know, queen e5, there's bishop f6. Oh, there is knight f4 now. Hang on. There is knight f4. This wasn't available before. Let's see, bishop c4. Does it matter about bishop c4? Maybe not. I'm not sure what to do about bishop c4 necessarily. Queen e5 is bishop f6. Maybe just queen e3 keeps the pressure. Yeah, that seems fair enough. My b2 pawn is protected, strengthening this diagonal. e6 and g6 concerns. Oh, I can just take that. Didn't really do anything in this game. Yeah, okay. I think queen e5 is possible. It's b4 to hold the bishop. Gets a valuable tempo. I think if a5, knight g6, then e7. Right, yeah, that's good. It's point e8. Right. Alright, maybe queen d4 then, for a moment. Rook e7 now threatened for g7. So rook e7 needs to be addressed. Okay, he hasn't got any checks, so immediately I think. I'm going to have a look at this knight h5 here. Alright, I was going to check out knight h5 on rook g8. There's a check. It's difficult anyway. Thanks for the game, Zermest. The commutator. So this looks like this isn't a 3-minute game, is it? It's still a 5-minute game, right? h3, yeah, I've covered a few. Goes back to Fischer era. Fischer was playing h3, and then in later years, like recently, I mean, it's all the vogue. A lot of GMs playing this h3 and g4 stuff. It's gained in popularity. Now, does he actually sack a knight to get a load of pawns? I'm a bit concerned about that. I'm going to castle here instead. I'm thinking he gets a load of pawns, but now I should be okay to play that. Actually, I just had a thought. Shouldn't have done that. I just had a thought. I should have moved the knight so I could move it there. Oh well. So I've got this poxy knight on e8 now as a punishment. Yeah, I should have made a space for the knight, a parking space for the knight. Now this knight's not great. There was a lot of Kasparov short games in there, brain games match where, yeah, Kasparov had done some nice knight stuff. And b4 here, trying to disrupt e4 control. I would welcome him taking, I think, d5. Starting to get scary. d5, g6, do I get blasted? Okay, g6. Okay, I'll try d5. There is one thing I've noted from one of the master games. This game of, I think, Kasparov with black, he got the f6 square for a bishop later against Adams. That's a sort of something I remember about this. So sometimes you can just grab the f6 square as soon as this g6 happens. So if you're not getting totally mashed, there might be a silver lining here to get a square for the bishop. Which I might use in this position. There's another question though about if I don't play it here. e5, there's knight f5. If I do play it here, I might be playing for some trick with taking knight b3 at some point. So I will play it here. I think it adds to my trick toolbox available of forcing moves. Bishop d4. Queen d4, there's knight b3. And then queen c2 mate. Bishop d4, there's knight b3, but then there's ab. There needs to be more to it than that. Maybe I just take this e4 if he's giving me that. If he ever gives me bishop d5, there's bishop a2. Or if I play here to try and keep things closed. Bishop g5, bishop d4, queen d4, knight b3. Hitting queen, king, queen c2 letter. I think I want to play... maybe I do want to take that. If I'm not getting mated, maybe. Alright, this is leading to the idea of bishop a2, which would be very good for b3 square. Knight d3, bishop d3, c2, bishop d4, okay. Alright, there is knight b3, yeah. There's bishop d4, knight b3. He'll have to give up his queen. Yeah. The thing is, does this backfire? No, the e8 knight protects g7, so bishop d4, queen d4, knight b3. Oh, there's king d1. Queen c2, king e1, queen b1. I can maybe queen h7 after. I don't think I'm getting mated necessarily. Alright, I think I might try this. As long as it's not knight d3, because then bishop d3 protects c2, but knight b3 on the other hand. So e8's doing something, so knight b3 here. King d1, queen c2, king e1, queen b1. Okay. It's good. The knight's actually serving a purpose here on e8 at the moment. Let's see, queen b1, king's going over there. There's also knight f6, and he starts sacking a rook or something. Probably should. Oh, is it committal to like take that? I can't see. I don't want to be too greedy. I think I'd like to return to base with queen over here, but maybe he's got bishop d3 after, and there's rook c2 check after. It gets all a bit messy. Queen a2, h6. I think I've got to get his. I think I've got to get the. Why can't I take the? Hang on. Hang on. There's a forcing move. There's f5 here. Right, so rook c7, knight f6. Okay, here. So knight f6. Right, I'll can I get some things off? There's rook b3 coming up, or rook b3. Well, there's rook c4 here, would be mating. Okay, it's not quite then. Right, thanks for the game. It was very sharp. I shouldn't. I don't think I played that accurately. Thanks, Commando. All right, 3-minute game. Okay. Pretty standards. Standard stuff. Maybe bishop e4 is interesting. Or knight f6. Maybe bishop c3 is interesting. Oh, there's knight g3 winning the exchange after that. The weakness of the last move. Put on knight in. Oh, F file pressure. I should take. We'll get rid of his nice knight. That's the most dangerous piece, I think, to get rid of. We'll leave his bishop hemmed in. Does get that d4 square. DC looks like opening up this guy. Okay. I can get that another pawn or two. E3 looks dangerous after the check. E3 opens up this bishop. Alright, okay. Alright, let's just move somewhere. It's only a it's G6 actually, just to stop any F5. There's Queen E5 here. Rook F2. Oh, is that any good? Rook D7, Bishop C6. Maybe there's better ways of playing this. Let's hold that for a moment. Maybe not. Okay, I'm getting short on time now. I played too passive. Alright, I'm freezing here. Rook D6, Queen E5. So he gets a dangerous pass pawn though. If my pawn's ready to roll, alright, maybe D2 is of interest there. Oh. My king's going to get slaughtered at this rate. Keep things closed. E2 looks good. Knight H6, King G7, Rook F7, King H6. Unless I need to factor in something else. Hang on. King G7, Rook F7 takes. I don't know. That was very exciting. Thanks. It's just done over now. Oh man. Okay. Okay. Yeah. All right. Okay, now Felix. Now Felix the cat. G6, this is inspiration from the world candidates. Mamedyarov. Yeah, played this. G6. But I was playing G6 already, actually, so I was happy to see him play it against Karyakin. So he had a good game there. It's offbeat Roy Lopez stuff. You'd think Roy Lopez is so theoretically analysed. So something like G6 to me is a sort of breath of fresh air. Bishop f3 and knight d4. If you can have double pawns here, it's not going to be that great. Right, knights. I have to take that, I guess. I can play c5, knight d5, cd. That's d4, rook d1, d takes, rook takes. I don't think queen sack for rook and bishop is that great. h5 might be more positional, insane. Rook b8 and queen h4. There's pressure on d4 here after queen h4. It's got some pressure points. d4 and b2 pressure points. So rook b8, queen h4. d4 was the pressure point in the Karyakin game early on. Okay, so here queen h4. Let's say rook d1. What do I do? There's c5, almost a little trick on. He's protected that knight. That little trick to get that knight, but is the queen stranded here on the h4? Is it trappable? I think it might be okay to park there for a moment. This is a liability, the c6 pawn. Is it rook b4? Rook c1, rook b4, rook c6, knight d4. Rook c6, rook b4. Let's take this further. Rook c1, rook b4, rook c6, knight d4, bishop d4, rook d4, rook c7. And this e5 drops as well. It's undermining the pawn chain to take out d4. He has got the bind on c5. How does he protect d4 here? This is really trying to detonate the center here. If I leave it, is it better to leave it or to take it? There's f6, f6, e6, f5, g5, f4, f6 might be an idea. Knight e6. I could sack the exchange. F takes, takes. If we took that as rook g4 check. Already there's bishop e5 for rook g4. King f1. Doesn't do anything. Okay, I'll go with f6. losing the exchange. Okay, f5 I thought here. There's also bishop e5 as a possibility. For any time this queen h2, this king f1, it's not a big deal. And that's not a big deal. Now, it's not a big deal at the moment, this stuff, but it could be one day. His immediate concern is fg now. So g5, f4, bishop f4, rook d4. Right. So couldn't I take on g4, then knight f5? Knight f5 hits d4 again. E pawn's a little bit dangerous. Well, there's rook f3 here. Again, knight f5 looks nice, but this e pawn's dangerous. I could take and then bishop d4. Maybe that's winning another pawn. I'm giving him knight f6 check later. As long as that pawn's blockaded, it might not be such a bad thing to simplify here. King g7, he's got rook f1 to f7. That is dangerous. I can get behind the pawn with rook e4. If rook f1, knight f5, and there's knight f6. I have to prepare against that. Okay, so knight f5, e7, rook e4. Alright, thanks, Phoenix. Great. On M. Okay. Try King's Engine. If I kick that immediately, kick it again, try and encourage closing of the center, maybe e5 here, takes, doesn't seem that bad. At first sight. I didn't think this was that bad. Okay, so g5 here for a moment, so I can castle. Without losing h6, I want castle. Knight g4 is bishop d4. Okay. d4, knight g4, there's bishop d4. Alright, can I try and take this off now? There's bishop d4. Maybe g takes h4 there. Takes this off. I don't know. This is really dangerous. Oh, he'll have f3. If I take and then queen f6. Now, would he exchange off the queens? If he doesn't, maybe f2 is a problem. Alright, let's say queen d2, who's entertaining that? No, he's not. Okay. Can I play king g7 for a moment? Bishop e6 coming up. I think bishop e6 looks okay-ish. Knight d5, maybe I take on d5. I'm going to play rook h8 and play this ending out. If all the rooks come off, this ending, what will be the end game prospect for me, if any? If I take, that takes, there's f6 at the minimum. Okay, so I think I should be able to take. Okay, doesn't seem that bad. I don't have to exchange off rooks. I think I can just use this file. Knight b5 might be a pain. Let's just stop this knight b5. Oh, rook e5 might be more to the point, actually. Yeah, I think rook e5. Okay, here. And sort of double. Oh, d5's weak here now. There's b5 as well. Threatening b4. I'm liking the position now, all of a sudden. This looks like I can double on d5 for a laugh. Oh, there's always, I don't know, there's always g4 there. If I doubled knight d5, g4, knight c3 though. Maybe it is a way of trying to pick up this pawn. Rook e5, g4, rook f4. Let's see what he does. Is it g4? Is it going to be the move g4? Okay, I'm thinking rook c4, rook c3, knight d5. Would be interesting, exchange sack. Right, he's just giving me a pawn now. 2 pawns. This one's dropping soon, potentially as well. I think I want to take the rook. My king can come to e5. Back to d5. Pressure. To king e5. Another pawn drops. If I let this go, rook f4, c8, g4, rook c7, g3. I'll just let the pawn go. Let's check in g1. Thanks for the game on M. Okay, Gustav. So we're playing a 5-minute game. So we had an interesting King's Indian last week. So it's going to be London system, is it? I've got a line against London system, which I think. Oh, okay. I'm playing here now. I'm playing for b5 if he lets me. Let's stop a5 anyway. Probably that's okay. I'm going to put a knight on f4 here. There's bishop h6 and g3, knight h3. So he moves his queen away, I expect. Let's renew knight h3 without queen h6. I'll try and... oh. Okay. Try and contest the d file. Rook b6 is a pain. b5, ab knight b5. Bishop e4, rook e4, rook a1. King g1. I don't know if that's... no, I don't think so. So look at this, rook d8, rook b6, bishop e8, rook a6. There's potential for rook d2 there. That might make it worth it to do this. Okay, I'll try this. Right. If I can just defend with rook e6 for a moment. So bishop c6. So I suppose b5 here is out of the question, is it? Or rook d6. What about rook d6? Bishop a6. I play a5. Is that silly to play a5. I think I'll play a5 for a moment. That's a bit weakening. Bishop c4. Alright, bishop c4, so this is a pain, this position. Oh, it's pain. There's bishop e8. Alright, there's bishop e8 maybe. Well, I'm 2 minutes down nearly on the clock. Bishop c4, bishop e8. I'll take on the bishop here. Well, there's rook f6 as an alternative. I think bishop e8 is okay. It gives me, there's rook d2, potentially. Bishop a6, rook d2, hits c2 and f2. There's knight d5. Okay, there's b5 or bishop a4. b5 might be worth it. And c4 to blunt the bishop. Alright, if I take there, knight d5, that knight's too gigantic. There's rook a6 to a1, b1. If I take these guys out, that'd be good. Rook a6. Right, that'd be pinned. That'd be on f2. If I takes on e8, I don't think that's worth it. Right, what is he doing here? There's going to be a pawn up, unfortunately. Well, I could take on f2, it's not necessarily a pawn up. Oh, that pawn's winning, b6, b7. If I took on f2, b6, rook b8, rook b2. Okay, takes b6, take on d5. Alright. There's also f3 to consider. For the moment, b6, rook b2, f3, trying to nab another pawn. Maybe not. Oh, my king's not safe. Okay. I go this way, away from the checks. Oh, what have I done? No. Okay, no, I'll take me for more. You know what, I think he's winning. Well played. Well played, good one. Okay, well played. Cobra. Okay. If I play bishop here, if I play that, he's just taking that. If I play bishop here, if I play here, pin. This is tricky. What about c3 instead? Then bishop here. Then I think I want to play knight e2. Although, yeah, okay, let's see. I don't think he wants to take g3, I think. And this f5 might be a subject of attention. It's the square ahead of the double pawns. Blockade square. Knight g3. Knight f5. Okay, preparing to castle queenside. I could try and take out this bishop with g3. I'm weakening light squares. Probably this instead for a moment. Might be safe to take that here. As the queen's getting trapped. It could be a free pawn, sort of. Because h3 after going into self pens. Okay, let's just castle for a moment. I'll let him off that point. I don't know. It could backfire, I suspect. Let's go over here. c5 is now I'm thinking I should have taken that pawn and let him get away with that. Alright. So does he castle queenside? Castles queenside? Right. Any c5, he just moves the bishop back and gets that lovely d5 square. I assume that's a lovely square. Oh, there's also queen a2. Okay, that's more to the point. Okay. Okay, I'll play a3 as if this might be handy in the future. Just positionally it's suspect, but tactically it's a disaster. So c5, bishop e7 is pointless. If I played h4 just to try and, if I g4, g3, bishop f4, get rid of his, is that the better bishop? I'm not entirely convinced that's the better bishop. It would be after g4, he'd be hemming in his own light square bishop. But he's not going to play g4. Or is he? Now it looks as though I can get his better bishop off. That looks like a nice blockading square f4 here. It looks as though this could be fun. and with c5 potentially. Okay, I'm ruling out knight g6. I'll just take that. D5 square doesn't seem so bad in this position for me to give that one up. F5, bishop g2 if nothing else. But do you want to play f5? There's other options. I've got d5 on the cards. In fact, f5, d5, f takes, d takes, hitting the queen double attack. In fact, d5 does seem good here. Try and liberate this d-file rook. Alright, looks as though queen e4 is good. His structure is compromised. I think it's enough for me to play for rook d6. Or is it? He's got f2 to play with. Oh, maybe it's not enough. If I played this for a moment to try and bring my king over. Okay. I could protect that and just bring the king over. Well, he's going to have rook f3 anyway. I'll bring the king over. If I take it then, f4, gf, rook f3, maybe it's okay. Alright, just let that go. Well, that's interesting. King e5 then. All the rooks hang. Thanks for the game. Okay. And this is a bullet challenge. I think that's it today. Oh, McTowell. Okay, let's play one more. Go over time. McTowell. I can't refuse McTowell. Last game. Hope you enjoyed it today. Alright, so this is pretty dangerous, actually, stuff. Sometimes offbeat stuff is dangerous. Okay. Play castle. And given that h3's been played, I'm thinking this knight maneuver looks as though it's worth a punt. looks like a sort of standard sort of thing to do. Give the bishop a square. Okay, this one. It looks like a stable position to start off with anyway. Knight f4 might be playable. He could play king h2 if he wants g3 later. Okay, I'll go knight f4. d4, I guess. Is it possible now I could play bishop d7 and queen c8? Okay, I'm not really sure. Okay, about this part. It looks as though it might be dangerous, some sort of sack. E6, g5. Is this far too weakening on my light squares? It might be. Yeah. Okay. I'll do it anyway. I'm just thinking maybe king g7, rook h8, and sort of brewing some sort of attack over here. As long as I don't kill my light squares totally in the process. So something like king g7, rook h8. Oh, hang on. Oh, the pawn was there for the taking. I missed that. The pawn was there for the taking. Now e5 is under fire. Knight e4 is that naughty but nice? Knight e4. Knight g4, knight f2. I'm tempted to try this out. It's greedy looking a bit. I could just take on f2, hits the queen. Yeah, I think I could take on g4 instead. Rook e4. Knight. Okay, what's the problem with knight f2 here? Knight f2, bishop f2, rook e5. Is it safer to take on g4? In fact, why can't I play f5? Knight takes. Okay. Oh. Let's run this through again. Knight f2, knight f2, bishop f2, rook e5. This, okay, I don't like my king particularly with that bishop there on b2. I should try and do something soon. Alright, I'll take here. I don't know. There's not too much time to be analysing this position. I can see my king is in a bit of danger. Let's keep that pin for a moment. So c4, maybe f6, give some granite to the bishop. If I played f6, is that looking a little bit safer? Maybe f6. Alright, I thought that knight was pinned. Why can't I just take that? c4, f6. And queen e6. Actually, bishop f3 looks good as well. I'll play bishop f3. Right. So it looks as though queen e6 or maybe queen f5. Either, maybe. And then rook f8. It should be okay after rook f8. And bishop d4, that should be okay. I might just blunt this d file for a moment. And just cement the d4 pawn. Bishop. Alright, thanks, Miktal. Okay, I hope you enjoyed this week. And the candidates, yeah, it's really good fun to check out the candidates. Okay, have a good rest of Sunday and nice week. See you next week. Thanks very much. Cheers then.